Welcome to Repair Pro Tips.
All right, so first things first, we're going to disconnect the battery. We find a 10 millimeter here. So we're going to go in, disconnect our positive and negatives. That out. Okay, so that plastic broke. That just happened. What I'm going to do is stick a used glove over top the positive post in case that touches, just so it won't make contact. And I mean, you don't need to, but a good idea to just disconnect the negative as well. What I am going to do while I'm doing this is throw this battery on charge, just in case it's really low, because some of these new alternators, if the battery is too low, you'll fry the alternator as soon as you go to start it, because it's trying to work too hard to charge it. So let me get this set up and we'll get back to things. Alright, so we got that on a charge. Now what we're going to do is move over to here and get rid of this cover. That should also be 10 millimeter. What we will do is grab that little pack. Looks like we got 6 of them here. Some of them are nuts. Some are actual bolts. These are bolts. Break out something a little stronger on that. Same there. Alright. Let me get a tray. Throw that shit over there. Flashlight. Let's see if that does it. And right off. Alright. So we're going to toss this thing out right now. Now, what we need to do is remove this part over here. So we'll get you set up over there. Let me grab the tools and I'll be right back. Alright, so you're going to want to get yourself like a low pry tool or something like this. These clips have a Phillips head, so if it's hard to get under the actual center part, you can unscrew them a bit. So what we're going to do is take these first 4 clips out. That'll make this where we can pull this part away from the grill. Now we're going to attack these 2. Sometimes you can get under it with the edge and then pop it out. And we got that one. So we're good to go there. Do I have anything I need to disconnect on there? No, I don't believe so. So now we're able to remove that. We're going to set that off to the side. Next thing, what we're going to have to do here is right here and on the other side there's going to be a, looks like 10 millimeter bolt that we need to get loose, and then the glove's in the way, but we're going to disconnect this power source for the fans and we're going to remove the fan shroud. Spray these a little. Hopefully they come out easy. Oh yeah, baby. Nice. Alright, so that one's good. That one's good. Wrong way. move these two out of here. Now, as you can see, the radiator shroud is loose. We're gonna go down. You got like a little press tab button. Let's see what we got here. So if that's giving you some shit coming out, you can take a little mini pry bar. Alright, so what I'm going to do, because this clip is being a pain, is push down on the tab that way. That way I can pull the plug right out. And now we have our plug disconnected, as you can see there. So now what I'm going to do, down at the bottom there's two little like clips that hold the shroud in. We're going to go ahead and loosen that from that. And now we should be able to remove the fan shroud. Just back up which there. Looks like goose shit. That's freaking crazy. Alright. So now what we're going to do, we're going to disconnect the positive battery cable and we're going to unplug the alternator down there. And then I'll get to getting the belt off. What do we have? Looks like maybe a 12. That's a 12 millimeter nut on the back of this, looks like. So we're going to take that one off. I guess I need to turn it one more time. Should come right off once you get it loose. Yeah, there we go. So once I get this off here, that's that one. We're going to set the nut to the side. And then we got this little clip down here. You may have to push in on it. I might need to move the camera to get that out. So I'm going to pause you guys for a minute because I need to move the camera. So the next thing I'm going to do here is take, let's see, get my hand down there. There's a little 10 millimeter nut here holding this bracket on. I think I'm going to take that right off. And then there's a couple plugs right above it here. So to give myself some more room, I'm going to disconnect those plugs. And there looks to be two 10 millimeter bolts holding that bracket on there. So we're going to get that done and we'll get back to the video here. Okay, so I stand corrected. The little nut that was on this bracket here is 8 millimeter, not 10. Okay, the other two are 10 above it. So keep that in mind. Alright everyone, so I got that bracket and the plugs disconnected. There is a locking tab on this, so you're going to need to slide that back first to disconnect that plug. Now I did also pop this out of that bracket, and then I stuck the bracket up behind the oil dipstick so it's not in my way. So now what I'm going to do next, you're probably not going to be able to see it, but we'll try. So you see this pulley right here? That's your tensioner pulley. There's the alternator, there's an idler, there's your AC compressor, and there's your tensioner pulley. Right to the front of that is a 6-point that you can put a socket on. So I wasn't lucky to be able to get it from the top. You are going to need to remove this splash shield here. Now there's two 10mm bolts up underneath there that you need to take out, and that should come right out. So wheels, 21mm lugs, if that's what you have on there, factory, and those two 10mm bolts. So I'm going to get that out, and then we're going to get this belt off. Alright, so I was a little bit wrong. You got your two bolts there, but then you have another one that goes in towards the front of the vehicle, like that. So you're going to have three 10mm bolts to take out. And that should, if we can, you can see right here, that's where my piece for my tensioner is. So that's the thing that you need to move. Now you need to move it. It looks like you're gonna have to probably turn it to the left, like you're loosening a bolt. That's what it looks like. You're probably gonna have to turn it to the left. So let me get the belt loose, and then we'll get back to the alternator. And a shorter extension, I used a semi-deep 19 with an average sized ratchet, and then I popped the belt off the idler pulley just below the alternator. So we're gonna get this out of here, and we're gonna go back to taking the alternator out. Alright, so first things first, I took the idler pulley off. You can see right there where that hole is, just beside the alternator, so I could get better access at the lower bolt, which is that one right there directly below the idler pulley for the alternator. So what I'm going to do is get that one out, and then I'm going to move up here to the upper one. Get my flashlight out of your way, and then we should be able to pull this alternator out. Now there is a cap on top of the idler pulley. It sits over this. You just pop it off and you can get at the bolt easy enough. So let me get the alternator bolts out, and I'll let you know how I finagle it out of there. Alright, so here's what I ended up doing. This bracket right here holds the alternator in place, but I needed a little bit of flex out of it. I suppose if you need a little more, you could take both of them off. When I came up, the alternator sits over those two and then down in that bottom one. So that lower bolt you don't actually have to take all the way out, but it's just easier. I could clean up the track that it sits in now. But once you rock it forward, you're going to wiggle it back and forth a little bit till you get it to pry up, and then you're going to bring it up kind of in the position it's sitting in like this right now, which is basically how it would be on the car, as gently as you can without jacking up your radiator. Sneak it up this way and then come across to get around your coolant hose and stuff to where you have enough room to pull it out. It does take a little patience, so just be patient and you'll get it no problem. Alright, so what we're going to do now, this is the upper mount. As you can see, the battery pushes to this side of it. We're going to install this bolt, the lower one, just so we have something to direct us onto that little notch that they have for the lower one. So now that we got that taken care of, we're going to go back up to the car and we're going to get this stuck down in there. Alright, it's going to be a little difficult probably to show all this getting it down in here, but right down in here is that groove that lower bolt is going to ride in, and then up here is where the top bolt goes through, where this plug's getting in my way, over to the right of the screen. So, shut the fan off so you could actually hear me. It's getting warm in here. Let's see if I can get a better view of me trying to finagle this into there. So we're going to do something like this. We're going to come in. We're going to come across. Oh, I lost my camera angle. I'll fix you guys in a second. Alright, we got past the radiator. Now we just gotta get these wires out of our way. Come on, where am I stuck? Something not all that important. Alright, so I'm in the lower one. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my bolt through to hold the top one in place. And then everything's going to be the reverse of what you did in the beginning. Alright, so as you can see, you got the alternator down in there. You got the top bolt started, so I'm going to start reassembling everything. I'll come back when I have more done. Okay, so I went ahead and got the belt back on. Reinstalled my idler pulley first, got the belt back on, and then I got the dust shield back on here. I'm going to lower it down a little, put the wheel back on, and then I'm going to go back up top and finish putting that together. Alright, I've gone ahead and reinstalled this bracket, the wiring for the alternator. I put this bracket back onto the alternator. You do have to take that 8mm nut off, and then plug my plug back in and put that 10mm and that one, if you can see it there, in. And now we are going to put the fans back in, which all you do is slide them down into see the clip down there. Right here, there's one on each side, and you can't see that one. I don't have a light on me. Once you slide the fan back down in that, you're gonna put the 210s back in, put your air cleaner thing back on. We're gonna hook the battery back up. We're gonna give it a run and make sure it's charging, and we're all good. So we'll get back to you after I finish the fan and stuff there. Alright, so we've got everything put back together. The only thing I didn't put on was the cover here, because I do want to spray these rusty ass studs and stuff with some penetrating oil so they don't stay rusty, and I could get the bolts off if I ever need to again. And now what we're going to do is fire the car up, and then I'm going to come around here and we're going to check voltage. So let me get you somewhere stable. Hopefully that works. Alright, so we're going to go to 20 volts DC. Our negatives on my right, your left. So currently we are at 12.08 volts. That's not a load test. That's just a test of power in the battery. So we're going to start it. We'll see if we have at least 13 or better volts. And we got 14.18, so I say we solved the problem. Let me get that cover cleaned up, and we'll be good to go. Another set customer.